Good day, my name is Ango Edward Sam. I'm 500 level medical student of University of Jos. I want to answer some questions and brief you through my distinction story in preclinicals. And my second MBBS exam was, I won't say it was easy, but thank God we went through it. It was a hectic story and the preparation. So it was not like second MBBS will come at you at a shock, something that we're expecting. But it was one of like the most tasking time of my life, academically at least, because of the thing that we had to do, to reading we had to go through. I think that's what I have to say. I would say, first of all, God. But before I will talk about God, let me say, for everything there should be labor. If you want excellence, you want good results, you have to labor, you have to work for it. For the decision anatomy, I won't say I was not expecting it, and I also don't say I was expecting it surely, but I think medical school most especially, there's a reward for consistency, and from the first day, if you want to do well in any course, in any topic, you have to first love it, then you can begin to work towards it. So that's what I did. I think I loved anatomy, even though I love physiology more, but I still loved anatomy, and I was, from the first day, I was always trying to read, to catch up. I won't say I was perfect in my preparations, but I think distinction starts with your tests. If you don't have very good tests, you can't just perform magic on the exam day or during the MD. When fully we're doing medical school, is at the bulk of things that we have to read. But I read a lot. I was in the cadaver room. I was conversant with what they were teaching me, and I didn't just read or prepare for test. Let me say once or twice. I made sure I read certain material until I was conversant with it and I understood what it was saying. Because of MCQs and the rest, they will confuse people. So to score high in MCQ, you have to understand what's going on. And then for the essays, diagram and everything. But I think I worked hard, but I don't think it's just hard work. That's where the God part came. I think I prayed a lot too. But not to say that only Christians can make decisions, whether you're Muslim, whatever religion you attend, if you put in the work, by the mercy of God, you understand what you are doing, I think you are going to come out with flying colors. Since I'm not a religious person when it comes to hours per day, because I used to be busy with church, with football, with chess, and other things. So I found it difficult, like reading, let me say 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. But I think for those that can do it, I think if you read 3 hours daily, or 3 to 4 hours daily, I think you won't have problem. But what I do is that sometimes I can read once in a week. That is anatomy, for example, but I'll read for long, or 2 or 3 times in a week, and it will be something that I'll make sure it covers. So the most important thing is covering your syllabus, not being behind. But I will advise for those, because that's the best, have daily targets. But me, I did not do it. I'm just saying it right there because I know there are people like me that will be feeling bad, maybe because they are busy, or it's not just. And again, I read with mood. When I'm in the mood, I can read for long. Then when I'm not in the mood, I don't read. But generally, averagely, always have maybe 3 to 4 hours. And if you are going to read once in a week, you calculate that 3 to 4 hours daily and make sure that you cover it in a week. That's all. But personally, I think my brain is strong, so let me say 3 times. I don't read something, I don't go to a test, unless maybe I'm pressed for time and it's not possible. But at least to read my lecture material, I don't go below 3, at least. Like that should be the least. 3 times. And if you can, 7. But let it not be less than 3. As far as you understand, and I think some people can even read twice, because the nature of my reading, I just go through the material. Like I'm not really focused on understanding everything. But there are people that if they pick a material, they can spend a day with a material. That means by the time they are done with it, they know everything that is there, almost everything. But me, if I'm reading through a material, I just, for the first time, maybe 20%, 30% of what is there. That's what I'm interested in doing. So that by the second time, when I just build it up. But there are people that don't have that time. They are very patient. So they can read once, at most twice, and they are done. Preparing for test strategy, preparing for test exam. Not sleeping on your bed. You make sure you're far from your bed. I don't like reading in school or outside my room. So the strategies I was taking, I try to off my phone, and I'm far from my bed. Sometimes I read standing outside of my room. I think the strategy is just to prevent me from sleeping. And then I read with loud music, earpiece, with my earpiece, loud music. So I don't know, to a lot of people it's distracting, but that's me. So I make sure that the volume is louder. So if I want to read more, then I'll be reading my stuff. So that's it for the strategy. So just to prevent me from sleeping, and then I off my phone because I don't want to be receiving messages or calls that will distract me. So I think that is majorly what I did extra. For study timetable, from what I said earlier on, I'm not that religious. So, but I know people in my class, very good, sound people that use it, and it works for them. But me, I don't do study timetable. Like, I don't know how my day will go. I can just do something in a week, and the next week I'm doing a different thing. But I make sure that I cover everything. But for those, like I said, who we are all different people, study timetable is very, very good. By the way, that's how the lecturers in school. We have timetable, and it's systematic, so no course will suffer. But if you're not going to have timetable, you have to be able to know how to balance everything. That is the disadvantage of studying the way we do. But if you have timetable, you know that everything is balanced and you're giving everything equal time. For MCQs, how I attend MCQ? First of all, like I've told many people, I go for MCQ knowing that I must not answer everything. That's one. So if I'm going to answer 100 questions, for example, I'm expecting to answer, let me say, 70 and 70 to 80. I don't have MCQs hoping to answer more than 80 questions, unless maybe it's so easy. You know how medical school is now. Nobody wants you to score 95 or 100. You won't be seeing those kind of scores commonly. But the scores are easier to get, 70 and above, 70, 80. So I enter MCQ with the hope of answering like 70 to 80 questions. So already that mindset has made me relaxed. So initially when I start, I go through the questions and I answer what I know very well. Then I try to count and see how many questions I've answered. If there are more than 70, I think I can leave, because 70 is A, very distinction. So 70 across all tests, you know you're on distinction mark already. But then sometimes I can answer once and then I'm even in 80 or so, and then I go. But then sometimes I answer and it's less than 70. Then I try to go the second time again to see other things I can actually add to try and see if I can level up to 70. But if I can't, I will just leave it. I will know that maybe the test is kind of going to be bloody. So maybe I will just leave it like that. Then for SE is easier than MCQ because you don't penalize somebody for SE. Nothing like negative marking, and you always work with outline. Like for anatomy, for example, or it's a course of diagram. It's diagrammatic, it's descriptive. So any question that they're asking you, try your best to, whether it's cubital fossa, whether it's axilla, whether it's femoral triangle, whatever they're asking you, have to make sure that you have a very big and elaborate diagram with relations around it. And whichever course in medical school, if it's not diagram, then you can use maybe schematic diagram, or this charts, flow charts, so that, because people don't usually have time for marking AC, so that when it comes to your part, they can just look at the diagram. If they know what you're doing, the flow chart, they can just give you a full mark there. So I was drawing a lot for my AC, and I was using outline. I don't use I don't load my paragraph, maybe 3 lines at most. So my work is clear, diagrams, and then the outline, everything has heading. That's what I did for the essay. Just, I don't know for other medical schools, but in JUT, you must go to past question. I think, what should I say now? It's part of the Bible of JUT. You must go to past. Even if they don't repeat, you must go to the past question so that you see the way the department thinks. You see their mindsets and how they want you to even approach what you are reading. You know where they are paying concentration, where the things that they want you to know, most at that particular department. So if you go to past question, even if they don't repeat it, you know the kind of things that they want you to know, so that I can go back and read. And past question should always be after you finish reading or in the middle of your reading. Maybe you've gone through your material once or twice, then you go to the past question, then you can go back to your material, then you now know where to focus on. But don't ever forget past questions. For second MBBS exam, okay, like I said, you start from your first test, but then if you've not been doing well, you just have to raise the standard. You try and see how you can have a very good test scores, and then once you've reached the exam, the practical is very important because you easily get free marks. Let me not say free marks, but it's easier to get marks in practicals, and then maybe the essay. So what I will say is just try and focus more on practical, then go to past questions, because once you are close to exam, it's kind of difficult to start doing what you should have been doing from the beginning. But if you have time before the exam, prepare. I think preparing for MB is just preparing for every test very well. If you prepare for every test, it's called 70 to 80. By the time you come to MB, it's what you've been doing from the test that they'll ask you in the examination. So if you can prepare for your test adequately, I think it's to be very difficult for you to fail in MB. MB is kind of exaggerated. That's what I feel. That's if you've been preparing for your test. So, and again, there'll be less pressure on you because you know that your cumulative is high and you need lesser marks to pass. Then for those who don't have good tests, there are people that pass MB even without having good tests, but then you have to put in more work. So you sleep less. So don't go sleepless in such a way that will affect your concentration during the exam, but you have to put in more work. Okay, for the new 211 class, you have the best you have the best opportunity because you are just starting. So, and again, okay, I've been saying that you should start from the beginning, from your first test. It's not easy actually, because sometimes people come with ginger, with hunger to do good. Not everybody wants to have distinction. And after like 6 months in medical school, maybe you put in the work and your test score is not reflecting what you are doing. Just people give up, people become depressed in medical school. But I would still say that you have to start early. And me personally, like, I had friends around me that were academically sound and inclined, so we did things together, and we had people that would prepare for tests together. So from the very first test, you have to be studious. Once your lectures are going on, you try and attend. I'm not a lecture person, but for those that, but they have to attend lecture because of attendance. If not, you'll be disqualified. But then for those that now need lectures to understand, you have to attend lectures, or at least almost all your lectures, so that's easier for you to read. Then for those that do videos like me, you have to make sure that you get your videos and go through them for easier understanding. But the most important thing is coming new into the medical school, like you have a very good foundation, you have ample time to prepare. So just anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, spread your time very well, and believe there's nothing hard in all these courses as far as you start preparing early. But if you don't start preparing early, along the line people break down and get depressed and give up, and I just carried it by the wind, whatever happens. But the most important thing is just know that this thing is easy. Start early, and the good thing with starting early is you can have time to be doing, whether it's politics or business or whatever it is that you're doing outside medical school, because you know you're already up to date with your school. So start early and always try to have a life outside medical school, no matter how little. so that your life will not just be anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. There's nobody that we say cannot cope in medical school, unless you say maybe you have other things that are taking your time, or you have something that is depressing you, because there is nothing special in medical school that anybody cannot do. So if you cannot cope, you are about giving up. Maybe it's not because of the medical school, it's just that you have a lot of things in your mind, whether emotionally or psychologically, or you have business to do, you have a career you're chasing, or you don't even have interest in it. That is the truth. Because you say that you are giving up, but you are not, you are making it look like we are doing something special. That's why we are better, or we are doing something that is making us progress. It's just that you have other things to do and you don't rate medical school enough, or you read medical school enough, but then you are passing through psychological, emotional distress. So what I will say is you should just try and sort it out, so that you can be interested in medical school and then you can be able to put in the work. But there is nothing, and like I've said, it's consistency. Medical school rewards consistency a lot, just like in any other area in life. So if things are distracting you, you're not sound emotionally, psychologically, you're not available in lectures to read, definitely there will be compound interest, and then medical school find you punishing that. So I would just advise that you try and sort out all your extra medical things, and then for those who have been reading and then their results are not reflecting what the effort they are putting, and then you feel like giving up. I don't know, just I think your reading plan or your reading method is flawed, because consistency will be rewarded if you do it right. So just try and make sure that you're not reading the way your friend is reading or the way the lecturer is telling you, because sometimes even choice of textbooks, lecturers give us the best textbooks we need, and when I start reading the textbook, I find out that I don't flow with it. So I have to change it to the one that the lecturer does not want, as far as it's favoring me. So just do what will favor you. Don't put in hard work and be reading because your friend is doing TDB or to do TDB and all. It will depress you because you know you're putting in the work but there's no result. So that's my advice. For if you're giving up because of something outside of medical school, try and sort it out so that you can have time for school. And for those who are putting in the work and they are not seeing the result of their efforts, try and change your methods, change your style of reading and how you approach academics.